Hey everyone, Stacks here, checking out Marauders #2. Gerry Duggan writing, Matteo Lolli on pencils and inks, and Federico Blee on the colors. And this was the top video voted for by you guys, subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way, when I kick out these polls on the community tab, you can check them out. Drop your vote and let me know what you want to see first video of the week. The book starts with a white page, and this white page is a top secret U.S. Naval Intelligence report, and it has a bunch of information on it. The big takeaways is that the U.S. government feels that, or this report thinks, that this the Marauders and the flashy ship is basically all to draw your eyes away from other operations that they have going on, including submarine operations coming out of Krakoa. We also find out that the Marauders are basically just out partying all the time. They go do these illegal activities on the high seas, and then they go to countries like Tokyo and they have a big party. From there we go to a meeting between Sebastian Shaw and Emma Frost. And in this meeting we find out that Sebastian Shaw is basically doing what Sebastian Shaw always does. He's trying to look out for himself. He has no interest in mutant kind. He's interested in lining his own pockets. And since the Hellfire Corporation is supposed to be the official distribution for the Krakoan drugs that are being distributed to the world that is accepting Krakoan legitimacy and sovereignty, he has access to the drugs and he's diverting them to rich folks basically. And in response to him stepping out of his sea lane, if you will, he is getting put in check by the Marauders, who are hijacking the latest shipment. Well, as the Marauders move onto the ship to try to take it over, they find out that the mercenary Batroc is there. He's running this operation. He's trying to defend these goods. From there you got Kate. I guess we gotta call her Kate now, not Kitty, because it reminds you about that about every time you turn around in this book. But one of the crew members comes up behind her, is seriously like 6 inches behind her, about to stab her. She has time to turn around and tell Lockheed, "I got this, Lock." And then she is suddenly a 1.5 feet away, catching the 250-pound guy's arm with her 90-pound hand. And at this point, I'm assuming that Batroc got this guy at the discount henchman outlet, because it's like this guy can't fight at all. Suddenly, oh, she grabbed my wrist, and now I can't move it, and now I just, come on. I much prefer her using her phasing abilities the way she did in Marauders 1 as to this. Well, as the fight boils down, Kate drops down below deck, starts inspecting the cargo, and Batroc comes down and says, "Look, I don't want to cross swords with Krakoa. You know who I'm working for." And Batroc tries to cut a deal. It's like, hey, maybe we could just make a deal that the ship sank and I can keep some of this, I can go sell it, you know, that kind of thing. And he even plays the card that, look, surely where this was heading, it still needs it. And they're like, yeah, no, we already got it taken care of. So they scuttle the boat, throw Batroc overboard, and that's it. Then when they arrive in Taipei, I guess, they take the other ship that they managed to steal and they sell it to the highest bidder. So back to the discussion between Emma Frost and Sebastian Shaw. Sebastian Shaw's ticked because not only did he lose a boat, he lost the drugs, and now Batroc, a mercenary, is ticked off at him. And on top of that, this is the point where he finds out that the Red Throne has already been filled while he was still, I guess, being resurrected. Back to the merry band of pirates. They're at a club. You have the obligatory Iceman still gay shot. And then you have Bishop approach the team and tell them, look, you're late, and I thought something had happened to you. And they're like, what? And they could tell Bishop's really serious right now, that there's something going on, because, you know, well, it's Bishop, and he's always serious. And then he tells them, look, Xavier's dead. Assassins made it onto the island. Well, they all stand there absolutely shocked. And then finally, Iceman looks over and says, believe in the 5. They can bring him back. And Pyro's just stunned. He's like, you don't know that. And Storm is shocked as well. Well, what do they do next? Well, they go to a tattoo parlor. Well, Kate gets her knuckles tattooed, and Pyro decides to get his entire face tattooed with the skull on it. And you would think that it would look like a skull, right? Well, wait until you see how it looks when it's finished. From there, Kate dumps a bunch of money, says, hey, here's money for the tattoos. She then sexually assaults this poor guy and walks out the door. They step outside and they find Gateway. And Gateway, if you're not familiar with him, his ability is to teleport people from place to place. Seems much more efficient than a pirate ship. And that's right, you're seeing it. Pyro basically tattooed himself with permanent blackface. Anyways, they travel through the gateway, they arrive in London, they see this new ship that they're getting, which is a war vessel. When you have guns like that on a ship, you don't get just to pull up in any harbor and hang out. Especially when you're wandering around out in international waters conducting piracy and breaking international law. Anyways, we go back to the meeting with Sebastian Shaw and Emma Frost, and it's getting heated. He's tired of being humiliated by Emma Frost and this whole deal, and the way he feels like he's being manipulated and pushed into a corner, which basically he is. She's trying to get the point across that you've hedged your bets against mutantdom and the safety of mutants for a long time, and that's got to change. Well, of course, Emma has to get chirpy and basically says, look, I can't afford a third of our voting rights on the council to be tied up with whatever skank you're running around with this week. And at that point, he just grabs her by the neck and buries her into the wall. And fortunately, she changes into her diamond form, so she's not harmed. And she just says, look, is this affinity of debt you seem to have suddenly your second mutation? And Sebastian Shaw is ticked. He is, he's always furious. But he starts telling her there will be no Red Queen. And from off panel, you get, actually, I am the Red Queen, and unnecessary cursing. And to be continued next, enter the Black Bishop, who is identified on the next page, which is the white page, as Christian Frost. So guys, I always try to be honest on my reviews. I do tend to kind of be a nice guy on these things, but in my opinion, this book stunk. The things they are doing do not come across as heroic. They don't come across as even sane to a degree. They have a gateway there that could teleport them anywhere in the world. They find out about Xavier's death, and rather than going back to Krakoa, they stumble into a tattoo parlor. Pay no heed to the fact that they may be able to bring Xavier back. They don't know that for sure, and that's made clear by what Pyro says. But what you have, whatever happened, something big went down on Krakoa. You need to get back there and check in. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure some people are going to absolutely love this book, but it is very much, I think everybody was concerned about this book when we first got a look at it, and kind of rolled our eyes a little bit. And after we got the first issue, we're like, well, there's some potential there. And after we heard more about the concept of the Marauders and what they're going to be doing, it sounded interesting. But right now, this is not grabbing my attention. This is fast on the way to getting dropped from the pull list. Before doing this review, I read Excalibur as well, and I honestly, you can check out that one. I'll probably have it up probably before the weekend. But my goodness, that's a disjointed mess that, oh man, X-Men titles 0 for 2 this week. So my final takeaway on this, I could not recommend this to anyone, but if this is your jam, so be it. I've had several people talking on the Thinking Critical Discord saying, hey, look, this is their guilty pleasure, if you will. They kind of accept the fact that it's horrible, but it's funny to them, and I get that. I've had books that I've read before that I was like, I know this is not good writing, and I know this story really is not that good, but I enjoy it, and if you do, that's fine, but it is not my jam at all. Anyways, guys, got a big day today at work, and I'm taking the family to see Frozen 2 tonight, so we may do a family review of Frozen. I know Half Stacks loves doing these, and I think we did one for the Grinch a while back as a family, and it was a lot of fun. So check that out if you're interested, and if you're not, well, hey, I'll get Excalibur 2 up here very soon. I also picked up Annihilation Scourge Alpha number 1, and what else did I get? Absolute Carnage number 5. So I'll get around to doing those if I have time this weekend. I'm hoping I do. And hopefully I'll get to stream some more Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, because that game is awesome. It's like Assassin's Creed plus Knights of the Old Republic kind of stuff going on. I really enjoy it. Anyways, guys, that's all I got. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me to continue level up in this game of YouTube. And I appreciate you guys leaving comments below. Tell me what you thought about Marauders. Did you like it? Did you not? Is this the kind of issue that gets it off your pull list or makes you lose interest? Anyways, guys, that's all I got. I hope everyone has a great week. Real Comic Stacks out.